Welcome to Behind the Title, where leaders show up differently. On today's episode, I was joined by Mel Cafferty, where I was moved to tears. Mel shared her story around cancer and how brave and inspirational she was. It's so important that we normalise this topic in the workplace today, and Mel is absolutely spearheading this from the front.
I didn't know anybody who had cancer within the industry. I feel like I have a responsibility for somebody to reach out to me if they've got any questions, because I'm here and it's okay. We need to be having more uncomfortable conversations, and cancer is definitely one of them. But I think if we create a space and we work more together, it's okay to talk about cancer.
Melissa.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining today. And actually, thank you for reaching out.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to host you on Behind the Title. I guess for the listener that may not have worked with you or may not know you, it would be good for you to just introduce yourself, what you currently do, and why it was important to come and share your story on the podcast today.
Okay, well, you can call me Mel, which is probably how people know me in the industry. So I'm an out-of-home agency partner at Bauer Media Outdoor, formerly known as Clear Channel. And it was actually a colleague that sent me your LinkedIn post and said you might be interested in this. And I don't see many people, if any, but a couple talk about cancer and their real life experience. And I thought it was really important as an industry to take more responsibility to talk about cancer, because there's actually more going on than we realise. And I just wanted to say hello, it happened to me, and you're going to be okay.
Wow. And I hope you don't mind me saying this. I think you shared with me you're currently in remission.
Yes. Yes. Still in cancer treatment till next February, but very much in go and live your life. Love that.
This hits home for me because I lost a parent when I was 7 to cancer. I've managed and dealt with that grief and whatnot. But I think sometimes it is an illness that perhaps is hidden behind closed doors, either because people take time off or, perhaps you just don't see what happens. And
I didn't know anybody with cancer it was always somebody's mum's friend's dog's friend. Like I hadn't, as a family or friends around me, I didn't know anybody that had it. So, and then coming back to work and then meeting people, and then I put out a link that I sent to you on LinkedIn to say, I'm backing out of home, and I'm enjoying life. I was overwhelmed by how many people private messaged me to say, like, that was really brave. I didn't feel like it was brave. I felt like I had to do it because it would have felt really contrived just going back to this industry is great and this is what's going on in out of home at the moment. I wanted to say, look, I'm back, and there's a reason why I've been missing for a little bit, because nobody deserves to get cancer. The breast cancer I had, it was hormonal. There was nothing I deserved to get it. It just happened, and it's going to happen to somebody else. And I think that's what I also want to say is nobody deserves it, and it's okay to talk about it. I hate the word journey, because to me a journey is going on holiday. But I definitely had an experience. So if I can share that experience and show positivity, then I want people to hear it and be able to reach out for it.
So when you say to a novice, when you say hormonal cancer, I have no idea what that means, and apologies for my ignorance. What does that entail within the bounds of where you feel comfortable and what's appropriate to share?
So every single cancer is different, because I thought there was only one type of breast cancer. I also thought, there's a good kind and there's a bad kind. The bad kind is it's a death sentence. And then you see celebrities get it and they lived through it. But then when I found out that I had cancer, my surgeon said, well, what we need it to be is the good kind, which is hormonal. And I didn't realise there was good and the good kind is that I still have treatment for the next 5 years, where the other cancer, they try and get rid of it. And if they can, then that's it. They're just set back out again. Where I'm on treatment now to stop those hormones attacking my cells that could create breast cancer again. And when I get through the 5 years, then hopefully all good to go. But every single one is different.
And how much have you spent time educating people in your own workplace on it? Is that been a conscious decision to either share or not share? Like, because I think within the workplace, and I want to talk about an initiative called Working with Cancer in a second.
Yes, I was going to mention them, yes.
Which is, I'm fortunate, I'll say it now, to be part of an organisation that founded it. Our chairman, our CEO, was diagnosed a couple of years ago and actually realised that there was a stigma in the workplace, that people weren't comfortable talking about it for fear of not being accepted, not being progressed, perhaps being judged, or worse off, evoking, an emotion in people where it's like the poor me. And that's now become a charter which has been rolled out across many organisations, where those organisations are effectively supporting their staff for a year, fully paid, without coming back in, support for families and stuff like that. So clearly you've experienced that. How have you found it in the workplace though, in terms of actually going back in and explaining to people? Is that something you felt comfortable with? Is it something you've actively leaned into? So
I remember calling RMD when I found out. I knew I had it because you just know, I think. And then when it was confirmed, I remember calling the next day and saying, it's stage 3. And he felt a little bit awkward. But what I was really calling for was to say to him, I'm going to be okay, and make sure my job is still there when I come back. And then I could feel a bit of relief, because he knew what he had to say to me was like, Mel, of course, we need you back. Like, we need your energy back, and we are here. You go and do what you need to do, but your role is here when you get back and when you're better. And I was like, great, okay. Just before I found the lump, my dad had passed away suddenly.
Sorry.
And then I found out I had cancer. And I remember saying to my line manager, so this is happening. I'm off as of today. And I said, I want people to know, because I don't want them to think something's happened to me. It's okay. I'm going to take this time out, and I'm happy for you to tell people, but can you just tell them not to mess me for a hot minute, because I'm still getting messages saying, I'm thinking about you and your dad. How are you getting on today? I said, I'm still getting those messages. So I know it's going to be really overwhelming. And then slowly I was going through treatment. I remember I got halfway through the chemo. I did 6 months of chemo. And I remember getting halfway through, and I was like, I'm halfway through. And I sent this photo. And it was an awful photo. I was so thin. I looked ill. I had a cap on because I only had a tiny bit left of hair left, which I was so proud of as well, because even with a cap, I thought I looked okay. I definitely didn't. But when I was out walking the dog walkers obviously saw me deteriorate, but never said anything, and just had really nice chats. And then I started getting the messages like, keep me going. And I loved that. And for me, I couldn't wait to get back to work, because I get my foundation from doing a good job and showing up in good. What does good look like? And for me, when I'm in a session with clients and talking about their brand and what they're going to do next, and then they do the campaign, and whatever we've said in that room has landed, and I have had a help hand in like creating this amazing campaign, that's where I get my foundation from. And I needed to get back to that. I'm lucky I've got amazing friends and family. So it was great coming back into the office, but I wish I'd known about the charity you just mentioned, Working with Cancer, because I've only recently found out about them. Because HR had to dust off the books. Like, what do we do with Mel? We've never had, as long as Clear Channel, now Bauer, Clear Channel had been going, they'd had nobody say, I've got cancer. How are you going to support me? They had no idea. They had to open up that rule book for me, because there's probably going to come somebody down the line and they need to know what good looks like to support people. So it was a slow return. I'm back to 4 days a week.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you. It has been tough because I'm authentically a positive person, and it's been, do you know what? Everybody has been amazing. But I think we're very English, and you probably spoke about this. If somebody says to you, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm really not fine most of the time. And if I've got to present on a Monday, I am nailing that presentation all weekend to make sure. And I need a quiet, because I want to bring that energy. Yeah, it's been hard. And also, everybody's really busy as well. And I remember saying, I'm really busy today. And somebody said, yeah, but we're all busy. But what they didn't know is, for the first time in 2.5 years, I was at an agency and I had a Krispy Kreme. And my body literally went into shock. And because of all the sugar, because it hadn't.
Okay.
And then I was like, but I need to respond to this and this and this. But my body was just saying, you just need to go home. But I didn't want to give cancer any more power. I want to reply to those emails. But what I've learned is I just can't have Krispy Kreme at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Amazing.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, you covered off some of it before.
Yeah.
We talk about the backstage pass, where there was a moment where you looked fine on the outside, but actually on the inside it was very different now. Was that, perhaps before the cancer arrived, with the bereavement, in your family? Or was there a moment when I think you said you just knew? I'd
go back to the 9th of December. We'd all been out seeing karaoke, and I was celebrating everything for the first time. Just seemed right, like work, relationships, health. Like, I'd just moved into my perfect flat, finished renovating, I've met someone, and Christmas has started, and it just felt so good. And the next morning I woke up and my mum told me my dad had passed away, and it was a complete shock. It was a shock for all of us. He was my best friend. And then had to get through the funeral and Christmas. And I remember my mum, my sister, my brother-in-law were just staring at the wall thinking, this isn't happening. Yeah. Then move forward. So going back to work. And I love exercise, team sports. I'm a huge netballer, cycling. I got through that through media. And I was like, I'm just so tired. But obviously it's grief, because I've had to be so strong for people around me. My dad was one of 10 and very close family. And I was just like, I just need to wear myself out. I need to grieve, but I don't know when it's coming. And my mum is not very good with paperwork. So I was finishing work, going to the gym, going to mum's, helping her with paperwork and trying to sort things out. Then going home and I'm sleeping, but I'm waking up like I haven't had any sleep. And I was like, there's something wrong. And I remember sitting at my desk one day, and I remember who I was sitting next to, and I just burst into tears. And then coming out, where our office are, we've got a little green, a nice green, golden square. And I was saying to the person, I just feel so tired, because I'm used to spinning plates, working on like autopilot. Like I don't complain. And I went home and I then called my boss and said, I need 2 weeks off. So I booked the most amazing vegan retreat in Thailand. And my mum said to me, you've just booked yourself to have a breakdown. I was like, maybe mum, but I'm going to do it in luxury. I'm going to be absolutely fine. I'm going to be really looked after. Like, I'm going to eat like the nicest food. I'm going to do yoga every day. I couldn't wait. And on the first night, 2 o'clock in the morning, jet lagged, I had a shower And then I just felt this lump more in my chest than my boob. And it was like a small olive. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, that's why I'm so tired.
Did it hurt or?
No, it did like a week later because I've been touching it so much.
Yeah,
but I was like, that's why I'm so tired. But no, it's grief. We're in Thailand, England, like 8 hours behind, I think.
Yeah.
So I just had to wait to see like an acceptable time to call a friend who I'd actually met through media and done a lot of cycling with. And I called the GP and they're like, you're 40 years old. Like, you're so young. Absolutely not. And actually, I'm going to give a shout out to Copperfield here, because when you're stuck in a hotel room on your own on the other side of the world, you do go down Google and all the Google images and what it is. And I was like, what is that? And also you end up looking at the worst stuff. And then Copperfield, because they had done a campaign with us, so give them free space if you can, because they do need it, spoke in my language and said, don't worry. Like, the next step is just to go to the GP. And you don't know what it is. It could be nothing. And the GP said, oh, no, it'd be nothing. And then got home, then waited for the test. But I did. I was in every single day because I thought if it is something, then this might be my last chance just to feel normal for a bit. And everybody, because I'd just been on this vegan yoga retreat, I was like, oh my God, you look amazing. And in my head, I was thinking, I really hope I am. Yeah.
I guess during that time from being diagnosed to talking with one of your leaders to today, was there shit that you wish you had said, either out loud or to another person? Or do you feel the conditions were right to say stuff? I think what I'm always keen to ensure, certainly with the people I work with, is that whether you're in a room, in a team, a crisis, don't suffer in silence. Mm-hmm. Even just day to day. So was there something that you wish you'd said? I
don't know what I expected when I came back to work, because communication was a bit like, oh, Mel's coming back, but we're going to do a bit slowly.
And how long were you off for?
So I was off 16 months.
16 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I did 6 months chemo, but I got halfway through, I got really sick and they couldn't let me carry on with chemo until I got my strength up a little bit.
Right.
I was given the hard shit. And then another 3 months there. So that brought me up to Christmas, another shit Christmas. And then one operation. And then I went straight into radiotherapy, sorry. And for every day for months. So the longest they can actually give it to you. And they used to love me there because, like at work, people say, oh, that's a really good job. Like nobody says like good job. Like, so yeah, I used to say to them, am I your favourite for today? And I was always the first one in the morning so I could just get it over and done with, because I really needed that. Like, yeah, you did really well today. I was like, thanks and see you tomorrow. The things I wish I said to work, 16 months is a long time. Actually, it was a little bit longer because I had a holiday to use. So I was back in the first week of Jan. There's so many new people in the office because of movement and agency land changes. So a lot of people just saw me. I used to have hair like down to my bum, and now I've just got short hair. Actually, it was even pixie when I started. And that they just saw me a few more pounds on because I haven't been able to exercise like I used to. It was great. It's like, oh, Mel's back. Like, well done for coming back. But then it's very much like head down, like, let's get back onto work. I would have loved for people to said like, oh, we must do lunch. But that lunch never happened because actually work is so busy. I should have said, actually, do you know what? That lunch would mean the world to me if we actually went and did it. Because it's not about me. I've missed out on what you've been up to for the last 18 months. And I really want to hear what's been going on with you.
That's lovely.
And also, I think communication could have been better because of the short hair, and maybe I put on a couple of pounds, which, I'm going to be kind to myself. But I've also been a few times within my own company and externally. Oh, Mel, I heard you was coming back. Oh, what did you have? Did you have a boy or a girl? And I was like, oh no, I had cancer. And they would laugh because they said it so innocently and it's not their fault. And I'm okay with saying that. But how did they not know? Because somebody doesn't want to say the word cancer, or just like, oh, Mel's back from having cancer. She beat it and she's back. Like, let's support her.
Do you think, certainly this is my perception, that it's possibly the stigma that exists, but do you think, and this isn't about any of the workplaces we're currently at, it's just a general question, is there a responsibility on the person that perhaps has had cancer and has returned to communicate to the people they want to say, you know, hi, I'm back. Just so you know, here's the 10 things you need to know. But I'm here. I'm focused. You know, you can ask me anything. I'd love to catch up with you at some point. Or do you think it's on the employer to, with the approval of the person, to send something out?
I think it's a bit of both, because everybody's different and everybody's experience is different. Some people just don't want to talk about it, or some people just want to talk about it a lot. And I think I'm a bit in between, because I just want to turn up and do the best job. And I don't want to feel like a victim because of this. I want people to feel comfortable to go, oh, how was it? Like, glad you're back, sort of thing. Like, how are you feeling today? Or want to ask any questions they actually want to ask. I think there needs to be a bit more of a rule book. I think there needs to be an open conversation. Because we work in media, we all want to look and feel our best and present our best. But there should be, oh, if somebody's dealing with this, then there's this support here. And actually, as a company, you need to do this, this, and this, and ask them these. Because I didn't think about certain things until a few months down and be like, hang on a second, this isn't right here. I think we can do this a little bit better. Just before I started treatment, I was walking down a road near me. A guy who's been in media forever, quite senior, he was walking up and I saw him and said, oh, I've not seen you for the last couple of months. And I was like, no. And I'd had a couple of drinks with the girls and I was like, no, because I've got cancer. I'm just about to start treatment. And I got upset because I just thought, I'm not going to see these amazing people for a really long time. And he was like, it's okay. I had it 10 years ago and I'm fine. And some days you won't even think about it. And I thought, how have I been on jollies with you and sat next to you and not known, because I've known him more than 10 years. And then since then, I've met a couple of other women that have had it that aren't particularly quiet about it, but they've been incredible. But I wish I'd known that they had gone through it when I'd been diagnosed, because they look a little bit more like me in media.
Yeah. Are there any triggers at the moment that make it hard for you to manage your emotions and your feelings?
Yes.
Around it? Like,
I absolutely hate being excluded, because before I left, I felt, no, I think it's fair that I knew I was doing a good job and I was looking for the next challenge. So and it's nobody's fault, but I hate being mansplained a brand to me that wouldn't be even in out of home if I hadn't have done all the work previously. It's like, oh, they're doing this now. It's like, and this is their history. I was like, well, yeah, they wouldn't have even been in out of home if it wasn't for me, because I spent so long doing that. It's not their fault. Everybody's been working on different campaigns for 2 years, and I've not been in the room shouting about all that work. And because I've not been there, my team have had to learn to create space for me again, because they've been getting on without me.
Yeah.
And then they'll go somewhere and I'll be like, can you can I come to that, please? Oh yeah, sorry. But it's just, they've just been used to being on autopilot without me. But
it's hard because I think on both sides, right? You know, they're probably trying to
be kind.
Yeah, to be kind, to be thoughtful, but also not be patronising. And at the same time, then they're also just running, because we're all running, aren't we? If we can kind of be quite open about these things, and people can feel comfortable, and that's why I asked about the employer-employee thing, because you know, if it was me, I'm thinking now I would personally want to send an email, like not rules of engagement, but you know.
No, I would totally wish I had thought about it, and actually it wasn't HR. They're like, "Oh, come back when you're ready," and that's it. That's kind of it. But if they said, "Oh, look, we've leaned into working with cancer and we've learned this, this, and this. Do you want to sit down and go through it?" But they didn't realise that was available to them. I'm only finding out that that's available now, and I only found out through somebody who works in media and had cancer, told me about it only 2 months ago. So we definitely need more awareness there.
Yeah, I think that for me is at the crux of it, right? And it was so serendipitous that you reached out, because I really wanted to bring this into the workplace, and mainly because ever since my mum passed many years ago, she also had breast cancer. This was 32 years ago. The world has changed. It's advanced. Treatments are available. But the one thing I've never been able to do is raise awareness or support causes that champion therapy and helping people get well. And so this to me is quite cathartic, you know, to do this, because I don't think I've met anyone in media apart from you.
So Claudine Collins had breast cancer, and nobody really knew. But when she came back with a bang, because she started doing the big balls, and she was Cancer Research UK organising 5Ks.
Was she quite open about this then?
I think she was open, as in, we need to raise awareness, so let's do this and let's do this. I don't think I've ever heard her talk about her experience, but I've worked with Mediacom a lot over the years, and I have friends at Mediacom who actually even went to Claudine and said, no, she's going to be okay. Like, where is she now in her stage? Like, think about this. So she was very open to helping people there. But other than that, I didn't know anyone.
Yeah, I don't think to me, it doesn't feel like it's a, you know, bear in mind, working with cancer, the initiative, our CEO, Artur, within Publicis Group, you know, he created it because he recognised there was a stigma.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, thank you to all of us. It's one of the reasons why, it sounds sad to say this, one of the reasons why I'm still here. Because for an organisation to create an initiative like that, one, shows they care about their people, and two, it gives me a sense of security.
Yeah.
I have a family. You know, I'm naturally quite cautious anyway. So knowing that there's a bit of a cushion there really helps me to feel like it's okay not to be okay. You know, which I think I struggle with. So was there a point where you looked at yourself in the mirror and you said, I don't know, it could have been an affirmation, it could have been a sense of realization that, because it sounds like you're quite a positive person.
Okay, I had it this week, weirdly enough. So on Wednesday morning, it was my 3 monthly bloods. Then I sit down with my team, and so I'm going through all the side effects of the most powerful drug that I'm on now, which is fatigue, stomach issues, insomnia. And I was like, I need to go back up to 5 days a week soon, and I can't do it. I said, I can do 4, but I could feel myself getting really upset, because I feel like so much has been taken away from me. Maybe opportunities, going for a promotion. I was like, I don't want this to take anything else away from me. And she said to me, but you're still doing cancer treatment right now. What you're doing right now is really good. I will assign you to continue to do 4 days a week till next year. I was like, no, I don't need that. I just need it for a few more months. And she was like, you know, are you okay? And I said, actually, no, I'm not. And she's like, you need to sit down now with your work and sort this out. And then I was like, oh yeah, I really do. Because I then sat down with my line manager, read this piece of paper, and I said, I can only do 4 days for the next 3 months because I am really struggling. And every month we have that conversation. She's amazing. She puts in a health check with me every Monday and just to say, are you okay? And I say, yeah, I'm fine. And I actually said to her, every time you say I'm okay and I say, yeah, I'm fine, then we have a little bit of catch up. But I'm not okay with saying, no, I'm not okay. I'm only once I've messaged her on the coming into work, I've messaged her and said, I really need to work from home today. And she said, yeah, of course. Nobody else been putting this pressure on me to get back to 5 days a week. It's only been me because I feel like I've missed out. And I, you know how competitive our industry is. Yeah. I was like, I've been putting that pressure on me to like claw back. But it's literally been this week when I'm actually going, okay, for this year, you're going to do a really good job, but you're going to give yourself grace that actually you may not be getting that promotion, or you may have to say no to things. You just want to do a good job on what you can at the moment. And I've been fighting that conversation with myself since January, and it's been so hard. I actually feel quite relieved that I've actually admitted to myself.
I absolutely love that. I feel like we've kind of been building to that without, I didn't even expect that. It feels like you've now reconciled. I have an illness. I'm treating that illness. I have an ambition. I'm trying to fulfill on that ambition, but I can't do everything. And actually what I need to do is focus on me. Yeah. Because if I don't focus on me, none of the other stuff is possible. Yeah. I sit here now and feel incredibly inferior, and not for any other reason than I'm in awe of people like you. I'm in awe of people that are willing to sit down. Yeah, I can feel it now. But willing to sit down and share their story. But importantly, open and honest enough to say, yes, I'm ambitious. Yes, I recognize there will be some limitations, because of where I am at the moment. And that is what it is. It's just a fact of life. But at the same time, I recognize that now may not be the time for that aggressive growth and push in work.
Because when I put out this LinkedIn post, say, I'm back, I'm okay. Because I thought, do I write that? Because do I want people in the industry to know? Because is that going to hinder my career for the future if they do know? And I spoke to somebody about it and she said, that's even sad that you think like that. You write that post. So I wrote that post. And then I know these are compliments, and what you just said, it feels like a huge compliment coming from you. You're brave, inspirational. I know that I'm resilient. I know I'm really fucking resilient. But I didn't feel brave at all because I didn't go and get cancer and be brave. Yeah. I did it. I feel more braver doing this today with you than I did then. I didn't go out to be inspirational because, but I hope from this, if one girl hears this and she's felt a little lump that literally comes out of nowhere, just go and get checked tomorrow. 99, sure, it's going to be nothing. I think it's going to be fine.
For me, that's what this is about. Right? If I can create a platform that helps one person, whether it's around illness, whether it's around hidden disability, whether it's around burnout, whether it's just around anxiety, stress, whatever it may be, I believe that I was assigned a role in this world today to try and inspire and give people, I guess, that little nudge just to move forward. Mm-hmm. And that, for me, I get so much self-gratification from doing this because, I'm creating something really cool. Behind the title is an expansion of what I'd started doing 8 months ago, really just to challenge myself. I wanted to film some content, edit it, learn how to do it. Actually, when I used to run, I used to think I could take over the world. So I just, all these thoughts, and I just wanted to broadcast them. And then I just thought, well, sod it, I'm just going to start. And I started, and then this opportunity came up.
That's the hardest bit, right?
Yeah.
Because like once you get to the gym, it's fine. It's the hardest bit of it's actually just getting there.
Yeah. But like, you know, even, you know, the guys at Yahoo supported me, you know, helping me, you know, kind of shape this. And to them, I'll be forever grateful because, as you say, sometimes it's just start by starting. But I know that the intention behind this is to just raise or elevate the importance of these topics. Mm-hmm. Behavior change takes time. You know, so things like cancer in the workplace, it will take time, you know, for change to happen. And that's not because everyone's in the wrong. It's just because maybe the way people manage it is different to others. Mm-hmm. And so I think you speaking out today, it is incredibly brave. And, you know, for that, you know, I am grateful. I'm grateful that you reached out. I'm grateful that you've been so open and honest. I guess really, to bring this to a bit of a close, we try and give people, you know, if you imagine there's a physical permission slip, right? Give people permission to feel, say, or stop doing something from today. I
give permission for people to say the word cancer and it not be a scary word, because people are still people, right? I'm still the same person with values and everything. I just had this experience and it's okay. I went through it because I've come out through the other side. And I think be positive around cancer too. It's not always means death. And if people can talk about it more, then actually you're going to create more change and learn actually how more to talk about it. Sorry, that doesn't really make sense. I just think,
no, it really does. Like
one of my first days back in the office, I bumped into one of the colleagues and I said to him, "Oh my God, you've now got more hair than me." and he said to another colleague, "Oh God, I feel awful." But I was like, no, I was like happy his hair had grown. And also I'm think, there you go, Mel, you're going to have longer hair than him one day. And it's, you know, we're in a bit of a, I don't know, because I didn't get to ring a bell because I didn't want to, because I had so much more treatment ahead of me. So this bit now is ringing the bell. I'm back at work. Let's celebrate.
Oh my God,
coming
that's
back.
Like, that's incredible. Like, I mean, Jesus, that is, I don't know, like that touched me.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
Well, just because...
Sorry, that really came off the spot. I've never said that before.
Like,
but this is
the fact that you're saying that being here today, totally unscripted, is like ringing the cancer bell. Like, that is, I don't, this doesn't deserve that. But if that is how you feel, that's incredible. It justifies why this is the right thing to do. Because
you've created a space to tell my story and it be okay. And those that want to listen to it, it's okay. Or those who don't, it's fine, because somebody probably knows there's somebody that's going through it. And then, yeah, I just want it to help one person, and then that's okay.
I still feel really emotional over that.
Don't, because you'll make me start.
No, it's look, it's fine. I think that that's what this stuff is about, right? I think you have been an incredible guest. You will have given others hope that it's okay, and that it doesn't need to be scary. I think you will have given others permission to talk about it and not be afraid of it. And I think you would have inspired people to know that you can live life still whilst being, let's just say, a transitional period during your illness. Melissa, thank you so much for coming today. It's been an absolute honour, pleasure. I can't wait to see your journey as you go on. Thank you for joining.